Welcome back, travelers, to ecotourism and stuff. If you're new here, welcome to the family. Grab a chair, settle in, and don't forget to hit that like, subscribe, and notification button, so you'll be the first to see our exciting videos. Today, we're embarking on a riveting exploration into the world of unique and thought-provoking destinations. Join us as we delve into the shadows of history, where the echoes of injustice still linger. Picture yourself standing within the imposing walls of Pretoria's Central Prison, a place steeped in the chilling legacy of apartheid-era South Africa. This formidable institution, known as a fortress of fear and oppression, bore witness to the darkest chapters of human suffering and resistance. But behind its forbidding facade lies a story waiting to be unearthed. A story of courage, resilience, and the quest for justice. So grab your virtual passports and prepare to embark on a journey unlike any other. Welcome to the haunting allure of dark tourism. Dark tourism refers to the act of traveling to sites that are associated with death, suffering, tragedy, or other dark aspects of human history. These sites often have historical significance due to events such as natural disasters, accidents, acts of violence, war, genocide, or the presence of the macabre, such as haunted locations or sites of serial killer activity. People engage in dark tourism for various reasons, including curiosity, a desire for understanding or reflection, a fascination with the macabre, or to pay respects to those who have suffered or died at these locations. The ethics of dark tourism depend on how it is practiced, the intentions behind it, and the extent to which it respects the rights, dignity, and well-being of all stakeholders involved. When approached with sensitivity, empathy, and a commitment to truthfulness and accountability, dark tourism can serve as a meaningful and responsible way to engage with the complexities of human history and memory. Here are some key points to consider when evaluating the ethics of dark tourism. Respect for victims and survivors. One of the primary ethical concerns in dark tourism is ensuring respect for the dignity and memory of the deceased and sensitivity toward survivors and affected communities. It's essential that visitors approach dark tourism sites with empathy, understanding, and a recognition of the human suffering and tragedy associated with these locations. Balancing education and sensationalism. Dark tourism offers educational insights into historical events, human rights abuses, and social injustices, but it also poses a risk of sensationalizing or exploiting tragic events for entertainment. Preservation versus commercialization. Dark tourism sites require careful management to balance preservation and profit, ensuring historical integrity and avoiding excessive commercialization to maintain visitor revenue. Empowerment versus re-traumatization. Dark tourism can foster empathy and understanding by addressing challenging histories, but it also poses a risk of re-traumatizing survivors and their descendants if exploitative. Authenticity and representation. Dark tourism sites must uphold authenticity, accuracy, and inclusivity in their historical narratives, recognizing diverse perspectives, voices, and experiences, especially those marginalized or overlooked in mainstream narratives. Community involvement and consent. Local communities and stakeholders should be involved in the development, management, and interpretation of dark tourism sites, considering their perspectives, concerns, and consent to ensure community benefit. Educational experience. Dark tourism provides an opportunity for visitors to learn about significant historical events, tragedies, and human experiences. It allows people to gain a deeper understanding of past events, their causes, and their impacts on society. Promotes remembrance and reflection. Visiting dark tourism sites can help individuals to remember and reflect on the suffering, sacrifices, and struggles of those who endured tragic events. It can foster empathy, compassion, and a sense of connection with the past. Preservation of historical sites. Dark tourism sites often receive funding for maintenance, preservation, and restoration efforts due to visitor interest. This helps to ensure that these sites are protected and accessible for future generations. Economic benefits. Dark tourism can contribute to local economies by generating revenue from entrance fees, tour guides, accommodations, restaurants, and other tourism-related services. This can help support communities surrounding these sites. Raises awareness. By drawing attention to dark chapters of history, dark tourism can raise awareness about social injustices, human rights abuses, and other important issues. It can spark discussions and activism aimed at preventing similar tragedies in the future. Ethical concerns. There are ethical considerations surrounding the commercialization of tragedy and suffering. Some people may feel uncomfortable with the idea of profiting from or trivializing sensitive historical events. Sensationalization and exploitation. There is a risk of sensationalizing or exploiting tragic events for entertainment purposes. This can diminish the dignity of victims and survivors and trivialize their experiences. Emotional impact. Visiting dark tourism sites can be emotionally challenging and distressing for some visitors, especially those who have personal connections to the events or who are sensitive to graphic or traumatic content. Perpetuation of trauma. For communities and individuals directly affected by tragic events, the constant influx of tourists and media attention may perpetuate trauma and re-traumatize survivors and descendants. Distortion of history. There is a risk that dark tourism sites may present a distorted or simplified narrative of historical events, omitting important context or perspectives. This can contribute to misunderstandings and perpetuate stereotypes. Dark tourism encompasses a variety of sites and experiences related to death, suffering, tragedy, or macabre themes. Here are some common types of dark tourism. Historical sites of tragedy. These include locations associated with significant historical tragedies, such as battlefields, genocide memorials, concentration camps, and sites of natural disasters like tsunamis or earthquakes. Prison tourism. Visitors explore former prisons or jails, often learning about the living conditions, treatment of inmates, and notable prisoners or events associated with the facility. Examples include Alcatraz Island in the United States or the Tul Sleng Genocide Museum in Cambodia. Disaster tourism. This involves visiting sites affected by natural or man-made disasters, such as Chernobyl in Ukraine, where the nuclear disaster occurred, or areas hit by hurricanes, earthquakes, or volcanic eruptions. Graveyard tourism. Tourists visit cemeteries, burial sites, or memorials to pay respects to the deceased, learn about burial practices, or explore the history of notable individuals. Examples include the Père Lachaise Cemetery in Paris or Arlington National Cemetery in the United States. Dark cultural events. These are events or festivals with themes related to death, horror, or the supernatural, such as Day of the Dead celebrations in Mexico or Halloween events in various countries. Murder and crime tourism. Visitors explore sites associated with infamous crimes, serial killers, or unsolved mysteries. Examples include the Jack the Ripper tours in London or tours of locations connected to famous murders in cities like Los Angeles or Chicago. Being a respectful dark tourist involves approaching dark tourism sites with sensitivity, empathy, and a commitment to understanding and honoring the experiences of those affected by tragedy. Here are some tips on how to be a respectful dark tourist. Educate yourself. Before visiting a dark tourism site, take the time to educate yourself about the historical context, significance, and impact of the events associated with the site. This will help you better understand the experiences of those affected and approach the visit with sensitivity. Respect local customs and traditions. Be mindful of local customs, traditions, and protocols when visiting dark tourism sites, especially those with cultural or religious significance. Follow any guidelines or instructions provided by site staff and show respect for sacred spaces. Maintain reverence and decorum. Approach dark tourism sites with reverence and decorum, recognizing that they are places of remembrance and reflection for those who suffered or died there. Avoid engaging in disruptive or disrespectful behavior, such as loud talking, joking, or taking inappropriate photos. Be mindful of personal boundaries. Respect the privacy and personal boundaries of others, including fellow visitors, site staff, and local residents. Avoid intrusive or insensitive behavior, such as asking intrusive questions or taking photos without permission. Reflect and contemplate. Take the time to reflect on the significance of the site and contemplate the human experiences and emotions associated with it. Allow yourself to feel empathy, sadness, or other emotions that may arise, but be mindful of how your emotions may impact others around you. Support local communities. Consider ways to support local communities associated with dark tourism sites, such as purchasing souvenirs from local vendors, patronizing nearby businesses, or making donations to organizations that support community development or preservation efforts. Engage responsibly on social media. If you choose to share your experience on social media, do so thoughtfully and responsibly. Avoid sensationalizing or trivializing the experience, and consider how your posts may impact others who have been affected by the events associated with the site. Continue learning and advocacy. Use your experience as a dark tourist as an opportunity to continue learning about history, social justice, and human rights issues. Consider ways to advocate for positive change and contribute to efforts to prevent similar tragedies in the future. Dark tourism offers a profound insight into history, memory, and humanity. Each site, whether it's a former prison or a memorial, tells a compelling story of struggle, resilience, and the pursuit of justice. As travelers, it's our duty to approach dark tourism with sensitivity, empathy, and respect. We must delve into the historical context, honor the memories of those who suffered, and reflect on the invaluable lessons they impart. Until our next exploration, remember to like, subscribe, share, and click the notification button for